What is up, guys, and welcome to Should You Play Far Cry Primal? Not a video I necessarily thought I would be doing. I have to admit, Far Cry Primal was somewhat off my radar. Mainly because, as much as I do like Far Cry, I feel like the last few games have been a little bit similar, and I never actually got around to finishing Far Cry 4. Don't get me wrong, I really liked it. It just didn't really hold my attention. So, when I got an email asking me if I'd like to review Far Cry Primal, I was straight on it. And here we are today. And I have to say, my impressions so far, this is about five or so hours in, have been very, very good. And I wasn't really expecting that at all. Far Cry Primal, if you haven't sort of noticed, is Far Cry, but set many thousands of years ago. So instead of having a load of firearms going and shooting up different people that are sort of causing trouble in all these remote regions, you sort of keep the location but just wind back the clock. The main problems with doing that are that the story as we know it is going to have to be completely different because, well, you sort of know how Far Cry goes. It's sort of, you grab a few guns, you've never really grabbed the gun before, and all of a sudden you turn into this killer that goes around basically killing as many people as he can. This one, well, similar, but not similar. And the main thing to take away from this is that it feels just like the next iteration of the Far Cry franchise in terms of gameplay, graphics and things like that. It feels very familiar, but it's just not the same game at all. All because of the fact that the location is set in the past, really. I guess, well, the time, I suppose, is set in the past is the proper way to say it. And so, what do I mean by this? Well, first thing that's a little bit different, here's my companion. This is a Jaguar. It's very good at stealth and taking down outposts and camps. And you can pet him if you want. You can call him. Hold down Alt. Can we pet him? Can we pet him? We can do. Hold on. When he looks at me. Come on, you're going to look at me. There we go. And then, there we go, we can pet him. And so this is Pet Simulator, right? Well, no, not at all, because he is a killer, and we can go and take down an outpost, and he can basically kill most of their guys without anyone even knowing that anything is wrong, which is a pretty cool concept, and it's not limited to Jaguars either. You can see here there's an array of different beasts you can do. Some you need to do quests, some this first tier are quite easy, you get this as soon as you start the game, and then you can go around and if you find these rare beasts, you can throw some meat at them and then go up and tame them. So you do play a character that's somewhat special in the sense that you can do these things and a lot of people can't. Taming wild animals isn't exactly the easiest thing I'd imagine to do, but you are somewhat special. Story-wise, it's kind of, there is story, there's cutscenes, and there's loads of different conversations in, of course, these Aboriginal, if that's the right way to say that, languages that don't make sense, so subtitles, of course, are going to have to be enabled here. But the story itself is more kind of, you're in the past, go off and do what you like. And with some guidance to show you how the game mechanics work, that, at the moment at least, is all there is to it. So some people, if you are here for a really big story-driven narrative, are probably going to be a little bit disappointed that there isn't more meat to the story. But for me, I really don't mind at all, because this is such a beautiful game. And I believe the YouTube compression here really doesn't show this off in its best light. But it's such a beautiful game and such a nice big environment that it's quite difficult to just play it without looking in awe. I've been playing this on an ultra-wide monitor as well as a standard 24-inch 1080p monitor, but on both, they really do look fantastic. It is one of the best looking games out there today. These are our weapons anyway. You get more throughout the game, but you mainly have a club, bow and a spear. Obviously this is all they sort of had at the time. You can craft new arrows and new spears. You can have different clubs, and you can unlock different clubs and things like that throughout the game. But essentially the main weapons really are your bow and arrow, your club, your spears, and of course him, because you can just send him out and then he will go and oh dear, he will go and attack. But I actually was too busy talking there, and now I have died. Load time's very quick. This is running off an SSD. This is the map. You can see I've unlocked a fair amount of it, but there's still quite a lot left to unlock, quite a lot of outposts and things left to do. Story-wise, you have these little icons here, and at the moment the story is go and find these guys and then bring them back to base. And these different shamans and leaders will have different things that they can add to the party, as it were. So if I bring him back, Wolgar the Crafter, then I can craft more stuff. And then there was a warrior bloke, there's a bloke I've got to take down in the fort, and that's what the story is at the moment. But it's not at all boring, it's just this, it's not really a story-driven narrative, at least as far as I can tell at the moment. This is the crafting menu. You can see there's quite a few leaders I've got to basically bring back to base before we can craft some of these stuff. But most of the time I've probably spent maybe 4 out of the 5 hours just free roaming the world and unlocking stuff and discovering stuff, because it really is that interesting. But yes, crafting, you just need to find different stuff around the maps and then unlock them. And you can also get things by bringing villagers back to your village. So you can see here, you can upgrade some huts, and if you upgrade some of your leaders' huts, then you'll get different benefits. So you'll get new stuff brought to your collection of items, and like a resource stockpile, as it were. So you don't need to discover and collect as many items, but it's definitely a case of you need to collect most of the stuff yourself, at least at the moment. You can see here that as you go about the map and bring more people back to your base, you get more benefits. At the moment we've got 68 tribespeople, and that delivers me 3 bags of weapon resources every single day, and then that is the most I think you're going to get. And then furthermore from that, you just get XP bonus, which is quite a nice touch. But it seems that I've kind of collected a lot of people quite quickly, but maybe that's just the way it goes from searching for people around the map and just free roaming. There's so many different things to collect, and this is really nice actually, because I remember in Far Cry 3, going back to Far Cry 3, I was like, wow, this crafting system is actually pretty damn good, and I maybe spent an hour crafting stuff, and then that was it, I was done. So it was like, oh, okay, and then the game was a little bit easier. But there's so much stuff you can go and track down that I don't think I'm going to have the same problem here. You can go and just basically hunt animals, or you can tame them, and then they can be your companion, and then that is all pretty cool. Skills, you can see there's loads of different things, and again, each leader will have their own different skills. And I've unlocked a fair few, but there's quite a lot left, especially with these new leaders. So that's the basic premise of the game. Just find these people, progress through the story, unlock outposts, and then unlock campfires and things like that. And I think that is pretty standard Far Cry. That's where the main similarities come in. So this is our sort of main village, and then we've got different fast travel points. So I've basically been everywhere on foot. And what we will do now is we'll go and take out this outpost, just to show you that it is classic Far Cry and show you some more of the mechanics. But you can see the map is pretty big, and there seems like there's quite a lot of different things to do as well. The graphical fidelity, as I've already mentioned, is very, very good. You're going to need quite a powerful PC to run it, but there's also quite a lot of variety. So you can see you've got the mountains up here, and you need special clothes to be able to withstand the cold before you die. You can upgrade your clothing to stay out there for longer, but then you've got some sort of nice what's the right way of saying it? Basically, it's a warm area down here, and then cold mountains over here, and then some more sort of plainy stuff over here. At least that's the way I see it. In terms of the options menu, I'll quickly show you options here. Gameplay interface, keyboard and mouse. You can rebind everything in the controls, which is nice. Haven't really had any issues with keyboard and mouse controls at all. Everything has worked perfectly. The gamepad did seem slightly laggy, but I'm not sure whether that was just the display or the game itself. Here is the video options though. You've got wide array, a lot of different things. Refresh rate 60, that should probably be on 120, but whatever. Quality settings, you've got quite a lot to choose from, so if you don't get the game running the way you want it to, then you could be able to change some settings here. You've also got advanced settings, VSync mode, and field of view scaling. So pretty much everything is here that you want. It seems to use NVIDIA's GameWorks as well, I believe, at least the is the main thing that I noticed looks pretty damn good. We've got some different bags you can find throughout the game as well, with different resources in. And it is really about collecting resources as and when you see them. Because if you don't do that, you're going to struggle to upgrade different things throughout the game. And you're not very powerful at all. I mean, if you come across a grizzly bear, you're basically in trouble unless you've got some really decent weapons. And if you travel at night as well, you need to have a torch with you really at all times, otherwise you'll just get attacked by predators and you'll keep dying. And it feels quite difficult. There's a little side mission going on here, let's have a look at this. But it feels quite difficult, and especially if you do want to take down something like a mammoth, it's not really that easy to do. And it definitely feels the way I think it's meant to, is when you were playing Far Cry 4 and you had all these guns, you could just take down whatever you liked, but it's not really the same thing here at all. So they're all on my team. Oh no. So, we've got some prisoners, and then we've got some evil people that we need to take out from a different tribe. But here's a cool thing. We can use our tamed owl as a scout, so just like you had the camera in Far Cry 4, this is basically the best way to do it. The owl can attack if you want it to, but you can also send your predator in, so I've got my jaguar here. Oh dear. Well, he can't reach the target apparently. But I could send him in, so this is almost like a tactical view as well, which is quite cool. But if that's not going to work, I can use my owl to take out one target, and if you unlock this ability and progress it further, then you can do more interesting things as well. And basically take out all the elite targets. So there's quite a lot to think about. You can just run and gun in, but because you don't have C4 explosives and grenades and stuff, it does make it quite tricky to do that. Facial graphics and things as well are pretty class leading. They look pretty damn good, but it all shares the usual Far Cry Ubisoft style. Right, now let's go take out this outpost and show you everything that we need to do. There's a load of grappling hooks area, which doesn't really seem very primal throughout the area that you can use, but I haven't actually unlocked that yet, so we don't have that choice yet. We've got one skill point. I'm going to save that for something a bit more interesting and upgrade something like our health. Now, how am I going to get down there? We do have the usual thing of being able to sort of slide down and not die. Okay, that's not a very good example. You can normally slide down different mountains and things without taking any damage at all, which is a little bit unrealistic, but not really a big concern. I do miss the wingsuit, but again, that would be pretty ridiculous if you could have a wingsuit in Far Cry Primal. So the best thing about the game, as you've probably imagined, is the fact that it is set in a completely different setting, and I've never quite played a game like it. If you like Far Cry formula, then I think you're going to feel right at home, but if you are someone that really does want a story-driven game, like the original Far Cry 3 was, actually, I say the original, 3, 4 and Primal kind of built on the same sort of game engine and things like that, I believe, and they certainly feel like it at the very least. Far Cry 2, of course, was completely different, so I don't really tend to use that in my comparison. But all three games sort of share a sort of core gameplay aspects, and the cool thing here is that it just feels completely different to the others, while still quite easily being recognisable as Far Cry. And I think the problem that I had, and a lot of people had with Far Cry 4, is it basically came out after Far Cry 3, and Far Cry 3 blew a lot of people away. But Far Cry 4, when it came out, it was kind of similar, to be honest, like too similar, arguably, to the previous game. Whereas with this, you just don't have the same problem at all, because, well, yes, it's Far Cry, but it just feels like a completely different game. And if you don't get on with that, then you're not going to really feel at home at all, and you're probably not going to like it. But if you're a bit like me and you've just sort of discovered that you come in and all of a sudden you find yourself lost in this pretty cool landscape and it feels like a completely different game to what you played before, then I think you're going to have a very good time. Right, let's have a look what we've got here. We've got Predator Vision as well. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. We've got Predator Vision as well. If you press V or whatever you choose to rebind it to, and then you can sort of see things in this Predator Vision eyes, which is pretty cool. Do you remember Far Cry Predator? There was a game. I used to play that on the Wii. It was just, the handling of that game was terrible. Not the same problem here though. Alright, let's have a look. PC version seems very good as well, which is very nice to see, because the last few games I know for a fact people have had issues with. in terms of things like stutter. I know I've had that before. Dual-core processors had problems, and I'm not sure about the case of dual-core processors and whether that's still an issue, but from what I can tell, PC seems fine. But then again, this is running off 2 980s in SLI, so it probably should run pretty well, but I haven't experienced any crashes or anything like that, which is pretty damn nice, and it's something that I tend to unfortunately get with a lot of games for some strange reason, so that's pretty good, I have to say. Oh dear. Well, didn't manage to do it silently, so now they're bringing the backup, as it were. The spear is quite good because you can throw it as well, and it's more of a throwy weapon rather than a stabby up-close weapon. The club is kind of the opposite. It's more of a brawl weapon, but you can throw it if you want. There you go, throw spear, you can throw that. But I tend to just normally use the bow. I find that the bow is easily the most useful thing, and especially as you can take down people without changing weapon as well. I tend to find I just use the bow and arrow, and the handling is surprisingly good for the bow and arrow as well. I think there is quite a bit of auto aim going on. I mean, if you sort of look at when I fire my bow, it doesn't always line up, but I'll still probably get a headshot most of the time. That wasn't actually a very good example. Okay, well, maybe it's not as auto-aimy as I thought anyway. Alright, last guy, spear. And that was missed. I like the fact as well you've got to aim above the target. It does make a lot more sense. Some games, unfortunately, well, not so much anymore. You used to get games where you wouldn't have to worry about sort of aiming above the target, but it's not really been so much of an issue anymore anyway. Right, so that is the usual capturing an outpost, leveling up. So now we've got some skills. We go to the skill menu. How many points we've got now? Oh, still only 1. There's quite a lot of things to do from there. So yeah, usual Far Cry affair. So if you've enjoyed the other 2s and you want some more, then yeah, you're going to feel right at home here. Right, I think we should probably go and bring someone back to our base. Let's show you over here, because it is a completely different environment and it is snowy. So this was a cave outpost, which was quite cool. Rather than the traditional outside calling in the owl approach, I just basically had to storm in without any arrows because I'd run out of crafting materials. Had to come in and take them out manually, and it was quite difficult. And I've found that that's a common thing with this game, that I've died a lot. This is on hard. It's not the hardest setting, but I've found that I've been dying a lot, which is quite a nice change because it doesn't feel as easy as some of the other games. Right, here we go. Now you can see snow. Snow mountainous. Let's collect some wood. And press on. We've upgraded the radar as well so we can see nearby materials to collect. So that is a skill. That's not with you when you start the game. Right, where are we going now? We are going over here, aren't we? Okay, where is he? He's over here. We can also call in different beasts, as I've touched on earlier. So if I did want to say call in the cave lion, I can revive him because he died with some red leaves. Don't really ask me how that works. I think that's just basically to make the game a bit more enjoyable. Oh dear, and we're being attacked by a beast now, and I need to run because he's onto me, he's going to kill me, he's going to kill me, he's going to kill me. We can send our beast to attack the bear. But this is what I mean, you just seem to die a lot, and they take quite a lot of damage as well, probably because it's a bear. But the animations and stuff like that are really cool as well. I mean, you think they probably can't be that easy to animate these things, but they've done a cracking job of doing it, I have to say. It really is pretty damn good. There we go, we've taken down the bear. Oh, and now we've been attacked, and now we've been poisoned. Right, this guy throwing crap at me. Take him out. Oh, dead. Well, that's what happens when you're poisoned. Like I say, you die a lot. And now I've been spawned back in the camp, unfortunately. So while we're on our way to go and pick up and talk to this new person and show you the last piece of the puzzle, as it were, which is more of the story element, I guess, should you play Far Cry Primal is the question. And the answer, from me at least, is you've got to remember that because I'm reviewing this a little bit late, and when I got the review copy of this game, I'd sort of already seen what the reviews were, and it's sitting on Metacritic, I think, about 74 at the moment. So it's sort of not a universal success. There's quite a lot of difference in opinion. And I think that's just quite nice. I mean, because it's not like there's a load of problems with the game. The reason that it's not doing quite so well as its predecessors is from a quality point of view. It's just because I think the game probably will divide people, because if you don't get on with this sort of thing like you do with the old Far Cry games, then yeah, I mean, arguably you might be annoyed that you've spent money on something that you're not enjoying, because it is very much one style of gameplay really, which is go off and explore. But from my point of view, I really enjoy it. I mean, the way it works at the moment, unfortunately, is I'm so busy a lot of the time that I don't necessarily get time to finish games these days, and they really do have to sort of grab my attention for me to actually finish them. So I normally get about 70-80% in, and then go and play something a little bit just easier to pick up and play, just because that is the nature with working 2 jobs. But I really can see myself finishing this, which is one of the best compliments I can do. Mission only available with the Mammoth Rider skill. Right, okay, well, I wish I'd known that before I came here. How many points do I have? I need a little bit more XP. Mammoth Rider skill, I need 2. Alright, let's go get some more skill points and then we'll come back. Now, there are these little side missions that you see here, these orange things. So if you just go over here, and we can probably get enough XP to unlock that skill, and then we can show you the story. But yeah, no, I mean, I definitely recommend it. I mean, it's not even one of those games that I say, well, maybe you should wait until it gets a bit cheaper, because I've just got on with it really well. And even though, you know, arguably there's not that much to do in terms of variety of things to do, there is so much to do that I think it will keep me amused for a very long time. And if you're the sort of person that likes that, you're probably going to have a good time. But it is definitely all quite similar. It's not sort of fetch-follow missions, but there's a lot of exploring, picking up things, crafting, attacking random events, attacking animals, taking down outposts and things like that. So if you've done that all before and you're bored of that, this isn't going to change your mind. But if you're up for some more of that in a completely new setting, then I think you're going to get on with it very well indeed. Right, so I've unlocked a mission. Now I've got to go and find it. That's what those things are. Maybe we should just make it a bit easier and go somewhere else. How about that? If it wasn't for fast travel, because of course there's no vehicles, then it might be a little bit more tricky to get around the map. But it's quite nice to go out and explore things, but then you don't have to worry about getting bored, because if you do want to quickly fast travel, you can still do that. Alright, let's go over here. Right, where are we going? We're going over here. Okay, where is he? Right, well, I'm on my way. So yes, one of the other things you can do, the last things, syringes are back. Look at that though, look, if I try and stand still, so give you the best possible view. Tell me that doesn't look amazing. And there's a benchmark as well for this game, so if you do want to benchmark your system and show off something to your mates and show them how good PC gaming is, this is one of those games as well. You've got different syringes here you can do, so nothing we haven't seen before. I'll set that as my quick heal. But we can also craft this one, which is quite useful for getting around the map. It gives you a speed boost, so if you want to chase after a predator or something like that, then you can do this. Or if you just want to get across the map quickly and you don't have a fast travel point, then it's quite a good way to do that. So you just, what is it? You use blue leaf and 2 stacks of meat. That's the way to do that. But yeah, no, really enjoying it, and things like this when you get in the forest with the trees, it just looks absolutely fantastic. And I tell you what, it certainly gives The Witcher 3 a run for its money in terms of visual fidelity, because it really does look very cool. And the gameplay I think is pretty fun as well. I just don't really know what much more they could have done in terms of story, because I'm sure there is plenty more to come and plenty more things I haven't seen. But of course you always have the risk of, if you play too much before we do this video, then it's sort of, you're seeing sort of towards the end of the game, and it might have given away too much. So that's why I sort of picked this time, if you like, to get this video out there. Right, where are we going? He's down there. Okay, Shelter of the Lost. Frames per second seem to dip in some areas though, do be aware of that. So I've lost about 20 frames a second, and you might have noticed that in the video quality. But running 1080p, 60 FPS, just under max settings, 2 980s can't always do it. Lovely.
Winter.
Nice! Most of him are winter. Ah, Dijam Shanti, Magasu Tagata, Udam Warwai. Smarka, my God.
Yeah, it's very tongue-in-cheek, so if you don't get on with that, you might not like it, but... no, that's fairly amusing. Right, so here we are in a story mission. Trapped. In a little pit. The beast cannot follow you here. Oh dear. So yeah, beast can't follow you everywhere for obvious reasons. Why should the beast be here? Makes sense. Escape the cave. Well, we can probably burn that, I'd imagine. Let's have a look. Change club. Set the club on fire. Yeah, see, look, I'm with it. I get it. I get the game. I understand. I think. Oh dear, now I'm actually on fire. Yep. Yep, see, there you go. That's me being intelligent. Thank you very much. I actually managed to work it out. Go me. And now our torch has gone out. Brilliant. Not that it's very difficult to make it wet, to make it a light again. If it's wet, I think you can still do it, so kind of irrelevant. Unlock the grappling claw from the crafting menu to use. Okay, well, I probably need to do this mission first, I'd imagine. Right, escape the cave. Where are we going? So, if you use your sort of predator vision as well, you can see different trails and the stuff in... Oh dear. And the stuff in red... Thank you. And the stuff in red is normally story related. So if you follow the trail, you'll sort of get to more story orientated things, or at least more important things, and then everything else is coated in this yellow. There you go, grappling claw. You have found an odd but useful tool. Not really sure that this is particularly primal, but I wasn't around back then. That might surprise you to know, so I can't say for sure, but I would imagine that a grappling claw is probably not really something that was around back then. But we give them the benefit of the doubt. It's a nice balance between realism and fun, and that's something a lot of games sometimes don't always manage. Most of them normally fail on the realism, but some of them fail on doing too much, so yeah. Right, we can grapple now. This is actually going to make my life a lot easier. There you go. We've now grappled up. Excellent. Checkpoint. Okay. Where now? There's dynamic lighting as well, so if you set this on fire, you'll see we've got shadows and stuff reflecting. Again, this isn't very primal, is it? Grappling like that and swinging from place to place. It's almost quite, what was it? Star Wars, isn't it? Started the whole grappling trend. There we go. Oh, and I'm dead. Oh dear. Brilliant. Okay. Good thing I do have this on an SSD, otherwise I'd be waiting around for a very long time, the amount I died. Right, there we go, detach. Moving on. Grapple. That's how you're meant to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Oh, dear. Kill. Oh my god, I'm getting absolutely slaughtered here. Get out. Oh, heal. There you go. That'll do him. If you throw spears, they sort of do more damage. They're more for throwing than anything else. There you go, take them out. Thank you. We actually got some Jaguar skins as well, which would be good. There we go, and we've got the extra skill points, and now we can go and do that mission a bit later. We'll say we, let's be honest, it's just going to be me. You'll be long gone by then. But there we go. Right, learn skill, done. Now we can go and do that mission. I have to do this one first, though. Escape the cave. Okay, where now? Can I go this way? Can I go this way? I think so. If you look on the minimap as well, it's quite interesting. It sort of shows you... it sort of shows you where you've been as well, which I have to admit hasn't really been that useful thus far, but it might do a bit later, who knows. Oh, that's why. Classic Far Cry, go up the vines. Right, where now? Well. Yeah, no, I can live with a grappling hook. I've changed my mind. I can live with it. Not ropes as well. I wonder when ropes were invented. How do you even make a rope? I should remember from my RuneScape days, shouldn't I? There we go. Right, we're out the cave. Trapped. Completed! And that is what a story mission looks like. What a surprise. It probably looks very similar to one of the other Far Cry games. And you can dive, just like the other Far Cry games. And so with that, I think it's sort of time to come to our summary, which we've already sort of done while we were mucking about trying to get XP. But this is a game that is completely different to the other Far Cry games while maintaining the same gameplay mechanics. And for me, that is a very good combination because it's managed to reinvigorate my interest for Far Cry and wanting to get me back into Far Cry. And I feel if they hadn't done Far Cry Primal, then that probably wouldn't have been the case. And I'd imagine that they're probably working on Far Cry 5 right now. Oh, that's my own. I don't want to do that. They're probably working on Far Cry 5 at the moment. Hopefully, tweaking either a new engine or a significantly improved engine, just so the game is significantly different. Because I think if they just if they'd come out with Far Cry 5 and it was literally just another step on, slightly different location to Far Cry 4, I think it really wouldn't have done that well, because people are just bored of the same game. I mean, it works a little bit with Call of Duty, as it has done for the last so many years, just because that is that style of game. People pay a lot of money for map packs, so they're definitely happy to pay for a multiplayer game that changes the formula slightly while being the same Call of Duty they know and love. And while some people will feel the same about Far Cry, for me, I wanted something different. And that's why I'm happy to report that that is exactly what this is, and that I am definitely enjoying my time here. But, I don't know. Let me know. Do you have the game? What do you think of the game? Let me know in the comment section below. Leave this video a like if you've enjoyed it, because of course that's what it's all about, letting you guys know whether this is a game worth playing. And if I've managed to do that, please hit that like button, but if I've failed, then hit that dislike button. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos if you haven't already seen them. Now, Wednesday I imagine will probably be a live stream. Obviously that doesn't make too much difference to you if you are not watching this as soon as it comes out, so I apologise. But then the week after this video, it's #GoBigWeek. We're having a video every day for about 8 days, and it should hopefully be a very interesting week for you with a lot of cool videos. So, heal beast. Heal the beast. There we go. He's got scars on his face. So hopefully that'll be a very interesting week, and hopefully you've very much enjoyed this video. I know I have enjoyed making it. So thank you so much for checking out this video. As always, any questions at PCcentric on Twitter or in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.